he gets into the 95 of Folks. Here comes the caution.
Flag is dropped here at Daytona, and away we go for the first time. Nicholas Morcel, Sean.
Looks like most get through unscathed. Look at that, there's Reed Gibson. A big move at the inside line of Dom's, possibly a little bit of contact.
Up now as we've got three wide action going through turns 1 and 2.
And they're underway. Eric Hahn takes a nice jump. Wilson hasn't let him go very far.
Go out here for Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Alex Johnson's off to a brilliant start there.
See just how oddly shaped this one is. We saw in the background Eric Hahn go for a bit of a swing, and he's gone and he's over.
New stuff. Cody Graham's the one-on-one up into second place. Alex Johnson 6/10 lead at the moment.
They're dicey up front. There's Andrew Kessel, Justin Sang.
They are ready to go. The lights are out, and away we go for the very first time here at Oklahoma International Circuit. Finley Fitzsimmons.
Welcome to the Tuesday night Detroit Region Sim Series, brought to you by the Detroit Region Sports Car Club of America. With over 1,400 members, there is no shortage of knowledge, history, and trailblazing ideas like this Sim League. Thank you participants and spectators for being part of the augmentation and evolution of the region. The DRSCCA, of course, goes beyond the virtual realm. In 2024, we are hosting over 40 events over 60 days that can get you behind the wheel or so close to it that it will blow your hair back. The gamut of behind-the-wheel events include road racing, road rally, rallycross, autocross, and a competition driving school. Support for the Detroit Grand Prix, Formula SAE, and Street Survival are also amazing opportunities to help sculpt future and professional drivers. Check out DRSCCA.org for more information. Whitlam Group, your choice for all of your labeling needs. Whitlam Group provides a variety of labeling solutions, including packaging, promotional, engineering, brand security, print on demand, and custom solutions. Located in Centerline, Michigan, Whitlam has a heart as big as their labeling options. They give back to their community by supporting the Children's Hospital of Michigan, Adopt a Child Project, Sweet Dreams Projects, COTS Detroit, Animal Welfare Society, and much more. Visit whitlam.com for details. Superlap. Located on the world-renowned Woodward Avenue in Berkeley, Michigan, Superlap is a sim drive studio, a space to meet and compete. With professional-grade racing simulators, they are a premier racing and drive experience venue. They will help you achieve your motorsports goals with education, practice, and training. Maybe you're familiar with the world's most famous international Formula One series? Well, their best driver, Max Verstappen, is a proponent of sim training and racing. If he uses sim, shouldn't you? You can race and practice against an AI roster, go head-to-head with other humans, or both. They also offer league play like the DRSCCA League. Go to Superlap World for details. Waterford Hills Road Racing, Metro Detroit's only permanent sanctioned road course. Waterford Hills, located in Clarkston, Michigan, hosts a 6-weekend race series, competition driving school, and 9 public open track days. The track is hot from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on these event days and is open to the public. A nominal $5 entry fee is all it takes to get you close to the action. Check out waterfordhills.com for details. And finally, thank you to the Michigan Turn Marshals for their support as well. If you want to get close to the action, be sure to check out michiganturnmarshals.org. They can train you to support races like the Detroit Grand Prix. And finally, a special thanks to all volunteers in the Detroit region and Waterford Hills. Without them, none of this would be possible. All right, everybody, welcome to the Tuesday Night Sim Series League. My name is Nick Rennell, joined by the world-famous James East. James, how's it going?
Nick, good to be back here at the DRSCCA. It's a regular Tuesday night, but we've got some new cars, new drivers, and a whole lot of excitement for our fans out here today.
Yes, we do. I believe we're currently wrapping up qualifying. Yes, qualifying just wrapped up. Looks like Vaughn Machiko in the lead, taking that pole position here tonight.
Now, Vaughn, I think a newcomer here to the virtual side of DRSCCA. I don't believe I've seen that 99 machine out on track here before, so good to see the newcomer in the top spot. These new cars, a little bit of open wheel shenanigans, a little bit lighter grid than we were expecting, though, here today. 11 drivers making their way out, so a little bit of a slower start to the season. So hopefully we'll see some more drivers showing up throughout the season here and getting some more drivers bridging that gap between the real world and sim side of the universe.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of open wheel, and I'm super excited about Detroit's move to these cars, and hopefully they'll gain a little bit more interest as the series goes on here.
Now, Nick, last season, I should say, we were in the Spec Ford Racer, led to a lot of bump drafting, really allowed a lot of aggressive driving, door-to-door action. With the switch to the open wheel cars, not only does that open us up to possible rain this season, but might lend itself to a little bit closer driving. As somebody who's an open wheel fan, how do you think drivers are going to have to adapt coming into this season?
Like you say, you know, that bump draft is going to be eliminated. They're not going to be able to put their nose in there and try to get some extra speed down the straight. But I think the nuances of open wheel racing are definitely going to lend themselves well to our competitors. All right.
So looks like qualifying's coming to an end here. I'm going to hop in the paddock real quickly, Nick, and see what drivers we can grab for an interview here tonight.
Sounds good. Who do we got? Right, couple more minutes here and get on to the main event.
All right, Nick, I went down to the paddock. I muscled my way around, and we've got Mr. Chad here joining us for a little bit of intermission interview, probably that number 42 here today.
Chad, how's it going?
Hello, hello. Going pretty well.
Good. Chad, welcome to the stream here. I'm trying to remember, did you compete in any of the previous Detroit Sim Series?
I did compete in the first season with the SRF, which is not my best car, so I don't know if I finished very well.
That SRF is definitely a tough car to get with. Are you excited about these FF1600s?
Yeah, I've been wanting to dip my toe into open wheel racing for a while, and these are a hoot.
Now, Chad, I was talking to Schmidt before today's qualifying session, and we were told the drivers might be a little bit short on fuel in the feature event. Can you confirm or give more credence to that statement?
Well, that's what I heard too. I didn't race the full 30 minutes in the qualifying. I was testing my pit stop, so hopefully that's correct. If it's not, I'll be ready at least.
Well, Chad, coming as a newcomer here to the open wheel side of things, a great development league here at the virtual DRSCCA to dip the toes. What's the differences that you're noticing right off the rip between the SRF and the Formula 1600s?
So one of the things about the Formula 1600 is it seems a little safer to push harder. I feel like I can go faster in it, and I can recover if I goof up a little bit.
I remember with those SRFs, I felt like you had to be very careful, or you could push them into understeer, and you were just plowing through a corner. How does that relate in the Ray?
Yeah, I mean, I am not a huge. I guess I don't feel the understeer that much. Maybe it's my driving style. I would get into oversteer a little bit more than the understeer. Maybe it's I'm on throttle too fast coming out of the corner. I don't see that with the Formula Ford.
Nice.
And Chad, remind me, please, what is your real world background when it comes to the DRSCCA, and how did you find us over here on the sim side of the sport?
So I've been sim racing for a couple years, and I've been doing some track days and stuff. A friend of mine, Mike Rodriguez, invited me over after getting connected through a friend of a friend.
I know, Mike.
Yeah, I'm reading here. It said you're doing a lot of the road racing, IMSA, the MX5 Cup and sim, and trying some different stuff. And I believe you did a few track days in Colorado. Is that right?
Yep, I am from Denver. I still live in Denver, so yeah, I've done a couple of the local tracks here. They're a lot of fun.
So, Chad, so coming from the Denver track days, and I'm not familiar with the Colorado track scene, how does that translate to the sim that you run Tuesday and Thursday nights? I know the Miata can kind of cross over a little bit since she used to have the ND, but is there anything with the HDPEs that compares to what we're having in racing on iRacing?
So when I do HDPEs, it's more of like a open track day. I haven't really done autocross, and we've got a couple of pretty good tracks here in Colorado. High Plains Racing, I think, is one that's fairly widely known, and it's a nice track that's got a nice long stretch. But those of us in the smaller cars can have a lot of fun in the back section and really show those Mustangs and Corvettes what's what.
Yeah, it's hard to go fast on something slow. It's easy to go slow and something fast, I think, is the old adage. And I know it's a ton of fun at track days, being able to harass those higher horsepower machines. And kind of related to that, this season we're going to be running an endurance on a Saturday here at the DRSCCA. Two-part question, will you be racing that? And if so, which car are you going to choose for it?
Yeah, one of the things I love doing in iRacing is endurance series. Sometimes it's hard to find folks to get in the car with you. I've done a 24-hour. I did Daytona once. I did Nürburgring. I'd like to participate with the MX5 in the endurance race. I don't know. I haven't driven a lot on the track, so I need to get in some practice, but that's my plan.
So for that one, it's a 4-hour, I believe. Are you going to find one teammate, two other teammates, or are you going to pony up and try and do 4 hours solo?
I don't think I could do 4 hours solo. I'm going to just look in the forums and the Discord and see who's up. I'm okay with a two-person team or a 3-person team or a 4-person team if somebody wants.
Well, I might have to pencil my name in on that one. Might have a team broadcast joining you for that one. Chad, what's some good spots here at Sonoma that we need to keep the cameras pointed at and expect to see some action in the California wine country?
Oh my goodness. I should know the corner numbers off the top of my head, and I don't. I would say for me, the corners that I'm still struggling with are, the top of the crest at turn 2, and then the final corner where it's like a hairpin right before coming on the main straight. I think there's a lot of different tactics through that corner that people are going to use to kind of jostle, make some passes in that area.
So expecting to see some big sends and some gnarly moments in that blind off-camber right-hander. Going to be a ton of fun, Chad. Nick, do you have any other questions for our special guest here today?
I think I'm just excited to see the racing and see how Chad does. And I guess, Chad, one thing I was thinking earlier is Miata for the endurance race. Are you thinking that for kind of safety and stability? It's something you can bang out lap after lap and not have to worry about?
Yeah, I'm really the most comfortable with Miata in iRacing. It's by and large my biggest car, the car that I've done the most laps on, and I've done a lot of laps in the Nürburgring. In the Miata, I'm super comfortable, so definitely wanted to stick on that side with the Endurance Series.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you, Chad.
Chad, before I let you go, man, anybody you want to shout out that's supporting your sim racing shenanigans or the real world racing or track days you've been doing?
I forgot to tell my buddy to watch, but I want to give a shout out to Falahi.
Fly, awesome, Chad. Always a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for joining us during the intermission, and we wish you the best of luck out there in this season debut.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck, Chad.
That was Chad Geidel. Join us in the Race 1600, the number 42 machine. Nick, I got to give him credit here for somebody that wasn't originally on the docket for the intermission interview. I think Chad's a natural at it.
He definitely felt natural. You can tell he enjoys being on the mic.
Yeah, super, super good guy. Gonna be exciting to see how tonight's sim racing goes. Now, do you have, we always do this and we always regret it, but do you have any choices tonight of who your top pick is in the season?
You know, Ari Ritter and Ryan Carwile are definitely some OGs from the SRF days. They usually put in really strong. Oh, as we see, the curse. It's already cursing Ari. Maybe that's a good thing though, James. If we curse him here in the warm up, exactly. Curse him here in the warm up. Maybe he'll be fine for the race. But I think Ari Ritter and Ryan Carwile are definitely going to be fighting with the unknown Ivan Mishko at the front there. I think making for some fun action in the front of the pack.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. It's a lighter grid than we were expecting. About 11 drivers showing up for the season opener, but I think everybody up front is going to be very equally matched on pace. And with this being a new car, I think we're going to see a lot of safe choices from the drivers when the opportunity presents itself. I'm not expecting any crazy sins in a 30-minute feature. I think it's going to be drivers kind of working on their racecraft, keeping the pressure up, and trying to make it to the end with a clean car at the end of this thing.
You know, I think that's everybody's plan, but you know what happens when rubber meets the road? Going to be a shenanigans. Going to be a good race regardless. All right, that's the end of warm up. Get this race going here in just a minute. All right. Get this race started here as the drivers get to grid. Let's go down our running order here. First play on P1, we got Vaughn Mishko. P2, Ryan Carwile. P3, Ari Ritter. P4, Andrew Mowed. P5, Michael Schmidt. P6, Trenton McMillian. P7, Ryan Goff. P8, Stephen Kahn. P9, William Lindner. P10, Chad Geidel. And P11, Chris Walker. We get ready for the green lights here at Sonoma. Ryan and Vaughn
there are going to be pit stops this race.
Leading the outlap here.
Short. Probably don't need tires. But, you know, welcome back to the DRSCCA. Let's have some fun, keep it clean with these fragile cars, and put on a good show. Thanks, guys.
So rolling behind our iRacing safety car, a pretty decent grid. Now it looks like Chris Walker, the 223, is not going to take the grid with the rest of the competitors. So that's going to leave Mishko and Carwile the front row, Ryder and Mowed your second row, as we've got 5 rows of drivers. We got the timing tower on the left side of your screen. We're going to get that updated to the intervals here shortly to see how close the drivers remain throughout the race. But I'm very curious to see here, Nick, how it's going to go with the smaller grid. Is that going to give a little bit more caution to the field in the opening lap, or is the red mist going to take over, I wonder, and immediately start to see some drivers battling out here at Sonoma?
Definitely a lot of unknowns in these drivers. You've got some old names here like Andrew Mowat, Ari Ritter, Michael Schmidt, Trenton McMillian. But there's definitely some names in here I don't recognize, and I think that over time these drivers get more comfortable with each other. So this first race, a lot of unknowns here, and it's just like you, I'm curious to see how this shakes out.
And the fact that we might have a mandatory fuel stop, which is not something we've seen in either the Tuesday or Thursday night DRS virtual CC series before. So that's going to be a bit of a switch up, as I'm starting to see some spectators milling in onto the YouTube side of the broadcast. We got Eric Fox join us, and while we're getting ready to go green, let us know where you're from, who you're cheering on. Drivers will frequently have this broadcast pulled up on a separate monitor or device, and if they don't, they just about always go back and watch this thing over again. As Nick, we've got a couple of corners left to go, and then we're going to send out these 10 drivers for 30 minutes for the season debut.
The debut of the Race 1600 starting very shortly. Lost our pace car. Vaughn leading the pack. Let's see when he takes off. And they're away.
We are green flag racing. There we go, Nick. Mishko and Carwile are going to drag race into turn one. Mishko's going to have the line here. Ryder and Mowat staying linked up side by side for third as well. And this is where Chad was telling us he's not a super big fan of that off-camber right-hander, but looks like the field's going to get through nice and clean here.
Ari and Carwile wheel to wheel. Oh! Who'd we lose?
That was Schmidt.
Get a replay on Michael Schmidt here. See what happened to him. Oh, it looks like he got tipped.
A little bit of contact.
It looked like it, yeah.
But hey, kept it off the wall there, avoided any sort of big issues. Mishko's going to continue to lead the charge, 1.1 up over Ari Ryder. Ryan Carwile still sitting in third. Good to see Carwile coming back out of the season as well as Ryder. Those were two very fast racers in the Spec Fords and doing a great job out here today and immediately on the throttle and making things happen.
Definitely frequent members in the broadcast booth for interviews at the end of last season, and definitely excited. Hopefully get the chance to talk to them after here, depending on how they do, and see what they think of the Ray.
Yeah, it's good. Very interesting. I know for a lot of drivers, it's difficult, as Andrew Mowat, I think, just took an off track there, almost through the runoff area, able to hold on to it. There's going to be Mowat in the purple. Oh, is a little bit of contact there, Nick?
It looked like it. Maybe just the touch of a wheel, but he was definitely a little bit too deep on the brakes, and he took the safety road. Thankfully, the folks behind him knew to stay out of his way.
Yeah, these we talked about that before the race. These open wheels do not enjoy car-to-car contact like we could get away with in the Spec Ford or the Spec Miata. And it looks like Ryder's starting to track down Mishko here. Ryan Carwile staying in line as well, about a second off the back of Ryder. So Ryder finding some pace, and this is another thing we didn't discuss, but we don't know what the tires are like for these drivers in the Formula 1600s. And the Spec Fords, they can take 2 or 3 laps to really get up to temp. This is a bit of an unknown for a lot of the field.
Definitely is, and I saw a lot of the drivers putting in some pretty good laps there in practice, but not everybody got to do that, so it might come as a surprise near the end of the race here if those tires start falling off.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that's going to work, as well as the possible fuel-saving game. We were told drivers might be 3 to 4 laps short on fuel. I'm curious as well if somebody further back in the field might have done the math on that, and maybe we might see 1 or 2 dark horses trying to fuel save and avoid the pit stop, because in seasons past there were no scheduled pit stops, as I think we've got problems somewhere out on track.
I do, I'm seeing mention of some crashing here. Trenton McMillan and Ryan Goff getting... and he came...
Oh!
That looked okay.
So he was able to lock up the brakes, saw the driver in front of him rejoining, and I think spooked him a little bit there and got on the brakes in a weird spot and just upset the car and sent it careening around. Thankfully, no car-to-car contact with that one, as I'm fairly certain that was Ryan Goff with the initial incident and then Trent McMillan with the spin to keep that car safe.
I think so, and I'm showing Ryan Goff up 3 places so far to 4th place.
Yeah, a few drivers. Ryan Goff, Stephen Kahn, Chad Geidel, all up 3 positions so far in this feature event.
Some fun racing. Definitely Michael Schmidt and Trent McMillan in the back here. A little embarrassed. Trying to make up some of those places. Head back up towards the front of the field. It looks like our man Chad here in a little bit of action. Being chased down by William Lindner.
Yeah, just 0.3 of a second separating those 2 drivers in the battle for 7th. And looks like Idle's going to get a little bit more speed built up there. And right ahead of them is Stephen Kahn, Andrew Mowat having a very fierce battle for 5th. Now, if that slows down the pace, that's going to allow Geidel and Linder to close the gap back up.
Dives to the inside. Andrew Mowat. Pretty tight line. Not enough to get in front of Steven, though. Definitely more to come with this battle.
I'm checking on some back-end stuff. We had one of our super fans, Eric Fox, saying he was getting a little bit of lag on the spectator side at 1080, but I just confirmed it on my end, so not seeing any issues here from my perspective in the booth. So I think everything's okay as far as settings. So we're going to keep these drivers going and racing. No commercial breaks here tonight.
Scared me,
Stephen
James.
Kahn has Andrew Mowat and I was scared too. As Stephen Kahn has Andrew Mowat and Chad Geidel in hot pursuit here in a 3-car battle for 5th.
Chad with a good run on Andrew there. He's going to be on the outside, though. Maybe he can get a little reversal here. Oh, Andrew wide. Oh. But with the better run out of the corner, Geidel in hot pursuit.
Yeah, this is some great racing, this 3-car battle for 5th. Kahn doing a good job keeping that battle behind him, knowing that every time Mowat and Geidel get together, they're going to slow down their own pace a little bit. But I think Andrew and Chad realize that as well, as Chad has a little bit of a bobble there through the bus stop. I think as soon as they see Stephen Kahn get another gap, they kind of give a bit of a head nod to each other and go, all right, let's link up here, track them back down, and then go back to our battle for 6th.
Some definite strategy going on there. Raw speed isn't always the best thing there. Sometimes you got to play your opponents off each other.
Yeah, exactly. Playing a little bit of chess here, especially in the open wheels cars. And it looks like Kahn getting some momentum built back up. But Andrew Mowat tucking in behind him. Geidel trying to close that gap back down. And it looks like Mishko has been able to shake off Ryder a little bit, has built up over 1.2 seconds over that second place driver. So Mishko, a newcomer here, the DRSCCA FF1600 series, is showing up in style and running very clean in that 99.
Definitely. Only showing one off track for Mishko, also holding down the fastest lap of the race so far, a 138.67. Pretty good gap to these guys, and especially you saw it at the beginning of the race. Ari and Ryan battling a little bit, and Mishko got away, and then I think they stopped battling a little and they started to catch up, Ari especially. And now I wonder if Ari's having to defend a little bit harder against Ryan.
Yeah, there's got to be a call made here from Ryder and Carwile. If Carwile thinks that Ryder is impeding the pace he can carry, he will try and make quick work of that 27 and see if he can track down Mishko. However, if the second and third place drivers think they're about equally matched on pace, I would not be surprised to see them link up nose to tail, work together a little bit here, and see if they can track down that 1.1 second gap of Mishko. They can see the 99 ahead of them. And as a racer, having that carrot to chase definitely helps you out a little bit and lets you get back in the groove.
And it's kind of in Carwile's hands right now. If he's, trying to lunge on the inside, right, Ari's going to have to defend. But if Carwile just tucks in behind Ryder there and they start banging out some faster lap times, that's a surefire way to get him up towards Mishko and get a fight for that lead.
Yeah, and that's also going to allow Ryan Carwile something that's not normally an issue. It's going to allow Carwile to do a little bit of fuel saving here if he stays tucked in behind Ryder. As Ryder's carrying a good pace, but if Carwile, the 71, can maybe stay in the draft of Ryder, he's going to burn up a little bit less fuel, and this might be the only time this season that we see fuel really be a factor in the event, because I'm fairly confident to say this was not a planned feature for the event.
Yeah, definitely exciting to see that, and it's going to be a new element to this race for a lot of the drivers, and might be a welcome one for some of the drivers, and it might be unwelcome for a couple of the others still trying to get their... See some action in the back here. Andrew Mowat dropping to the back of the field. What happened in this battle? Andrew Mowat in the purple car. The 14 Mobile. Oh, he came in a little too hot.
This loses it.
Yup. Came in a little bit too hot. He's back to 9th place right now, down 5 positions from his starting.
And Andrew's going to take that opportunity to come down pit road too, so he'll be the first driver to box. William Linder also going to come down pit road. Tip of the hat there to McMillian, able to get on the binders and avoid any sort of incident there, further incidents. We've got that very cool pit stop window at the bottom of your screen. You can see how long drivers are in their pit stall for and how quickly they get back out on track.
We're going to need some...
Looks like Mowat in his stall.
We're going to need some F1 style graphics to show the...
And look at this, a battle for the lead.
Oh! Ari caught up.
Ryder is going for
it. Down the inside. I don't think Mishko was expecting that. How is he
so for the
respond?
first time tonight here at Sonoma, a new race leader for Ari Ryder. So we're going to have a race on our hands after all. It looks like Ryan Carwile in the mix here as well, as here's the replay of the big send.
Great move from Ari. And holds it on the inside.
Yeah, just worked the draft at the perfect time. And now this is going to put Carwile a bit in the mix as well. We've seen in seasons past, Carwile
very
is not
deep.
afraid to bide his time as Ryder brushing against the wall there. Now, these are very much momentum machines, so he's trying to carry as much speed as he possibly can, but surely there's a mix of corner speed and using up too much racetrack, as it's really starting to tighten up here in the top 3, and we're not even to the halfway mark tonight.
Great racing, as always. Even with a slightly smaller field than we're used to, we always get... quality of racing in this series is so good.
Michael Schmidt, he's on his pit road for his one scheduled stop of the night. As on screen, we're watching Ryder Mishko with a little bit of mistake there. Is going to put him within striking distance of Ryan Carwile. Carwile not quite able to get the pass. He's looking for the long way around the 99 machine of Mishko. Just can't quite get it, but that's going to give 7/10 to the favor of Ari Ryder, that new race leader in the 27. And here we go, Nick, side by side for second.
Mishko a little bit slow out of that back corner. Ryan with the run. And this track layout's unique. It's got this big braking zone instead of staying in S's. Oh, but Ryan being a little conservative there in his brakes, making sure not to cause any chaos.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've seen this exact situation for Carwile, where he's just biding his time, playing it safe, and not putting himself in any sort of danger. But he is all over the back of Mishko. I wonder if Mishko's tires are starting to fall off a little bit.
Maybe, and, you know, we're not exactly sure of Mishko's background, and, you know, you think about Russell Soto, you think about Ari in the past couple seasons with these grade A drivers just on their butts the entire race, and maybe Mishko just needs a little bit more time to get used to that pressure.
Very interesting to see how this battle for seconds is going to shape out. Ari Ryder's definitely enjoying the clean air off the nose, the front wing of the 27, able just to focus on hitting his marks, not having any issues, and not seeing any traffic ahead of the race leader Ryder for quite a while. The first driver that he might catch is William Linder in the 186, but that's going to be interesting. I don't think that's going to happen before the pit stops are fully completed, because that's going to kind of stretch the field out a little bit here as well. And that's another topic of discussion for Mishko and Carwile. If Carwile thinks he has the pace, I wonder if he's going to go for an undercut against the 99 machine, try and hit his pit stall perfectly, and then come back out on track with clean air ahead of him. So I know it wasn't designed to have a pit stop tonight, but I'm very excited to see the different strategy that's going to come into play from that little mistake.
Absolutely, and we know that Ari and Carwile are, you know, chess players when it comes to this. Ooh, Mishko with looking like a bad exit out of the onto the main straight there.
Yeah, same with the Ryder. Carwile takes over the lead.
What happened there? Let's see if we can't get a little replay going here. All right, so Carwile in the back.
I mean, it looks like Ryder just throws out the anchor.
He put down. It looks like Carwile pushed the nitrous button on his car. Holy crap!
He was almost a full 0.6 faster than Mishko or Ryder. It almost seemed like Ryder slowed down on purpose. I can't imagine he had a slowdown there. The only thing that kind of makes a little bit of sense is Ryder wants to do a little bit of fuel saving, but that was a very uncharacteristic spot to see that number 27 slow down so drastically.
Yeah, and Ari, I've noticed, has a kind of a wide line through there. Ooh, Mishko with a... Mishko, oh, he's sniffing at Carwile's bumper. Back to Ari, though, he's definitely got a wide line, and, you know, I think it doesn't take a whole lot for him to get wider than he intends. Oh, Mishko on the inside. Carwile giving him lots of room. Mishko back through to the lead.
And Ryder was looking to get his nose in against Carwile, not able to make it happen there. Mishko back to the race lead. We are past the halfway mark, so drivers have been displayed the cross green and white flag signaling the halfway mark. And right now, nobody in the top three wants to come down pit road yet. I'm thinking they want to stay linked up 1, 2, 3 here, so nobody has a draft advantage. So with that being said, I think these guys are going to run it all the way until the gas tanks are sputtering here, as it looks like Stephen Kahn's going to come down pit road for his one stop.
It's a bit of a catch-22, because if everything was static right now, they would probably be looking at using the pit stop as an option to undercut or overcut. But it is so dynamic right now, and everybody passing everybody, that I think they're it's kind of keeping the blood up and keeping the heartbeat racing, and they're just focusing on getting past the other drivers.
Yeah, because if one driver comes down pit road right now, let's say if Mishko decides to box, but Carwile and Ryder stay out one more lap, that's going to give Mishko a little bit of a time disadvantage, as the other two drivers can kind of work that draft against each other, help pull themselves forward, and then you would find yourself out of the top three. So it's kind of a game of chicken here. Who can run it out the longest and make sure they've got a little bit of support on pit road? It's almost it's almost like super speedway racing a little bit, where you want to have some friends on pit road when you roll out together, so you're not pushing air all by your lonesome here.
Definitely be interesting to hear from the podium here in the interviews at the end of the race how they think. Oh, Ari taking.
Oh, there goes Ryder.
Ryder taking the pit stop. He was going in hot too. He knows he's got to get this done as quick as possible.
So we'll keep an eye on the bottom graphic on your screen to show how long Ryder is in pit road for. Mishko is going to continue to lead here with Carwile in hot pursuit. Now, I would think, Nick, we're going to see the 99, the 71 come down pit road this time by. As we wait for Ryder to roll out of pit road, he just hit his pit stall. It takes 30 some odd seconds to make it from the entry cones to your stall. Well, let's see how long Ryder is in the box for. Well, looks like Stephen Kahn was in and out in 13.22 seconds. Ryder, 10.98 seconds. So he's going to double stint the tires, splash off a little bit of fuel to make it till the end. And well, looks like we've got 11 minutes left to go. And it is going to be exciting as another crash report as well. This time, Michael Schmidt, the number 3 machine, has some sort of issue.
As soon as I see that initial camera angle, I know which corner the issue happened in. Did he come in too hot? Came in a little too hot. Recovered well. Michael Schmidt in 8th place, down 3 spots from his qualifying position.
Yeah, it seems like that corner has really been chewing people up. And it almost looks like when they're hard on the brakes, it lightens up the rear end of these Formula 1600s enough, and it just allows them to have the back end try and overtake the first, as there is Mishko down pit road. Carwile is going to stay out. So my predictions were wrong here, Nick. It looks like it's going to be every man for himself on pit road as we keep an eye on the timer to see how quickly Mishko can get in and out of his stall. And that's another good reason to go for the overcut, is if you have to take less fuel than everybody else, you should be able to get in and out of the pit stall a little bit faster. Looks like Trent McMillion's going to also come down pit road, so Ryan Carwile will get the lap led here. Ryan Goff, who has yet to box, moves up into 2nd, and I think that's going to put, yes, Chad Geidel, the number 42. We interviewed him during intermission. He's going to move up to 3rd, but those are the only 3 drivers who have yet to pit here.
So this will be interesting. I'm keeping an eye on Ari. Oh, and Ari gets past Mishko with a good gap. I still don't see Mishko leaving the... No,
Mishko has problems. He's in pit road is in his stall for 26 seconds.
Ooh.
I can't quite tell. I don't think the car was lifted up.
Oh, and
no,
he's
it
down.
was. I think Mishko took tires by accident.
I think he accidentally took tires. Coming back onto the course in 5th place. I'm still showing 3 folks who haven't pitted. Ryan Carwile, Ryan Goff, and Chad Geidel haven't pitted yet, so it's looking like Ari is going to be in the lead by at least a good couple seconds here.
Yeah, I'm showing a little bit of napkin math is giving the lead to Ryder here by about 20 seconds, depending on what Ryan Carwile does. I showed Carwile coming down pit road just now as well. So he'll be one of the last few drivers to pit here.
Yep. 2nd place, Ryan Goff, also pitted. So if our 3rd place runner, Chad, pits in right now, that will be everybody. It looks like Chad is not pitting yet.
Yeah, he's going to stay out here.
Right.
So Carwile has hit his pit stall. Geidel gets credit for a lap led here at Sonoma. So now the big question is, Carwile in and out of his pit stall, 10.65 seconds. About 3/10 faster than Ryder was on pit road.
And he just sneaks by Ryan. No rest for the wicked. Ryan Carwile comes out right on Ari's bumper.
Yeah, 0.2 of a second separating these drivers. That we think is going to be the battle for the lead, unless Geidel can somehow do something miraculous on pit road. I think, unfortunately, he's not going to be able to. Mishko currently showing about 5th on circuit after a bit of a bobble on pit road. He was in his stall a good 20 seconds longer than anybody else. So now I wonder, Nick, is that going to move Ryan Goff up into a possible podium contention here?
Ryan Goff is definitely going to be... Ooh, as Ryan goes looks at taking a run around the outside. Yeah, Ryan Goff is definitely going to be ahead of Von Mishko, but how is he going to handle? I don't recall Ryan's qualifying time, but does he have the pace to hold off Mishko?
Yeah, he's got about 6.5 minutes to do it, and he's got about 6.5 second advantage over that 99 machine as the battle for what we assume is going to be the lead still stays intent. Chad Geidel down pit road for his one and only stop. Carlisle shows as your race leader against Ari Ryder, the number 27, or will be the race leaders. We get the replay pulled up for that pass.
Ooh, little later on the brakes. Oh, and he just maintains it all the way down. Props to Carlisle.
So that puts Carlisle still as your race leader. Ryder in second. We're waiting to see if Geidel, I think he's going to not be holding on to the podium here as Ryan Goff staying out on track. Goff, the number 10 machine, moves up into that final podium spot. Mishko and McMillian make their way around Geidel, who's on pit road. And I still show Mishko about 6 seconds back from Ryan Goff. So Goff has right around 5.5 minutes to hold the course, and he can sneak home a podium here in this season opener.
I'm keeping an eye on that track map there. The number 3 up in the upper right corner, followed closely by Vaughn and Trenton McMillian. Trenton actually doing a pretty good job on Mishko right now. I'm curious if this might work out for Ryan Goff, if McMillian's able to put some pressure. And to be fair, I think Mishko had a bit of a long pit, and whether it was tires or maybe he took more fuel than he intended, maybe that number 99 car is a little bit heavy, and that'll allow Trenton to get into the action here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I mean, we are in the home stretch of this feature event, and still good racing across the track. You're watching McMillian trying to fend off Khan in that battle for the 5th place spot. And then Ryder and Carlisle doing a great job staying linked up nose to tail. And those two have built up a 20-second advantage over the rest of the field. I mean, they are just absolutely ripping here, able to figure out these Formula 1600s mighty fast. There's a little bit of a moment there in the battle for 5th.
I'm definitely going to have to get myself in the sim and give these cars a try. I'll admit I haven't ran them around anywhere yet, but definitely looking like a hoot to drive. Ooh.
Yeah, it looks like a blast. This is something that I haven't tried yet either. I'm definitely going to have to give it the old college try, because it looks like a ton of fun that these drivers are having.
Absolutely. I'm showing William Lindner in the pit. I could have sworn he pitted earlier.
Yeah, this is going to be his second stop. He's been there for 4.5 minutes. I think I remember seeing Linder take a tow at one point. So unfortunately, he just might be retired from this feature event. As we pan back to McMillian trying to track down Mishko in this battle for 4th.
Oh!
And McMillian is going to have a little bit of an issue there, careening that number 11 machine down the hill.
That's a place we don't usually see major issues, but he came in hot. It's a deceptive corner. It's got a little bit of camber to it. Oh, he just lost it. Well, freeing up Mishko a little bit to take off. Trenton holding on to that 5th place position so far. Still up 1 place from his P6 qualifying effort. Showing Mishko 4.5 seconds behind Ryan Goff. I'm sure Ryan looking at that relative time in his iRacing black box and trying to stay ahead.
He's only got a couple more minutes to make it happen here, and he can snag his first podium of the season. I'm very impressed with how good the racing has been here this season opener. A little bit lighter field. 11 drivers entered, 10 took the track. But, I mean, we are in the final just about 2 minutes, and Carlisle and Ryder still separated by 0.3 of a second Now they're 20, 21 seconds up for Ryan Goff, but Goff has Mishko closing in fairly quickly. Mishko's about 3.8 seconds back.
Ooh.
So Goff, I think, just has to stay very smooth, very consistent here, and then try and grab that first podium and capitalize on Mishko's mistakes.
Yeah. Goff definitely keeping an eye on that relative. Uh-oh. I'm showing Chad crashed in the back. Load up a replay of that. Oh. Come around a little. Yeah,
That's the
hot.
corner he was talking about. That was
Yeah.
his second least favorite corner, that uphill kind of off-camber right-hander.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Schmidt, who made the pass there, was able to get through clean without any further incident, because that's the last thing anybody wants at the end of a 30-minute feature is to have a mistake that takes you out of the race, or worse, takes a friend out of the race as well.
Those unforced errors eat at you, too, when you know that if you would have just driven a little more carefully or transferred the weight of the car a little slower, that you would have been fine. It's really hard. All right, back in the front here. Ryan Goff doing okay, holding off Vaughn. We've still got a raging battle up here. 1/4 of a second gap as it stands. Ari wants that lead. This is where he had that move on Vaughn earlier in the race. He kind of did the switchback and dived to the inside. It looks like he's going to take his time on this one. Set up for a good run.
Now, I think this might be the white flag lap as well. Once that timer in the top left hits the 30-minute mark, the checkered will be thrown. So these guys are going to be racing to the line here. I don't think they're going to get another lap. No, it's the 30-minute mark. I think this might be the checkered here, Nick.
Oh, man. Ari's got... Oh, he's so close. He's only got a couple corners left. And Ryan hold on to it. I haven't seen a lot of passing down into this hairpin at the end here, but Ari's going to do it. This is where it's got to happen. Oh.
He's going to try and get a good drive, trying to carry as much corner speed as he can. He's off the gearbox of Carwile, but Carwile picks up the win here, the season opener. Ari Ryder will have to settle for second, and it looks like it's going to be Ryan Goff, barring any mistake in the final corner here, will work his way up into the top 3.
Malanta, Ryan Goff, holding on to 3rd. Mishko closing rapidly, but due to that unfortunate pit stop, coming home in 4th. Trenton crosses the line. Steven. Michael Schmidt coming across soon. Ooh, followed closely by Chad. And Andrew Mowat bringing up the back of the pack. What a race, James.
Yeah, this was fantastic. Good to see from all these drivers coming out and put on a great show here tonight. Now we're trying to get our top 3 drivers up here into victory lane. Looks like we've got Ryder, we've got Goff, and just waiting on Ryan Carwile. So we'll get things started with these drivers, where we will have me asking a question, Mr. Nick Rennell asking a question, followed by me asking a question. And let's start things off with Mr. Ryan Goff. Join us in the 3rd place spot here tonight. Ryan, welcome to a podium, my friend.
Hello. How are we doing?
Doing good, sir. Walk us through that one. It looked like a mistake from Mishko. Put you up into the top 3, and that gap was closing rather quickly over the run. Were you keeping an eye on the overlay during that one to see what was going on behind you?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I knew Vaughn was faster. I just knew as long as I kept it clean most of the race that I knew someone was going to forget to mess or change their pit strategy and take tires, and I think that's what Vaughn did. I only took very minimum fuel, and I was basically running on fumes at the end of the race. So,
good call, Ryan. Showing you gained 4 positions in that race to get you up into third and onto the podium. Anything else going through your mind, or just keep it clean, don't get in trouble, and don't spin out?
Had an early drift spin, but after that I kept it clean, and I knew someone was going to mess up, and that was really just my strategy here. Don't race these cars too often, but they're a ton of fun, so figured it was going to be a good race either way.
Absolutely.
Ryan, super cool to have you up here in the top three. Before I let you unwind from this feature event, who do you want to give a shout to that helps put you up here in the booth here today?
Thank you to Vaughn for putting tires on your car.
Well, easy enough. Ryan, a pleasure, buddy, and hopefully we'll have you up here more throughout the season.
Congrats,
All
Ryan.
right, thanks. Thanks, James. Thanks, Nick.
That was Ryan Goff joining us in third. Up next, Mr. Ari Ryder joining us in the second place spot, the number 27. Ari, it's been a whole season off, but man, it's good to talk to you again.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit tired a second, not gonna lie, but hey, I'll take it.
Hey, at least speaking of taking it, at least you didn't take tires today, so able to stay in the podium with a little bit of an audible thrown in the mix with you guys having to come down pit road.
Yeah, actually, this is my first ever iRacing race where I've had to do a pit stop, so it was a bit of a last-minute thing, but I figured it out. I took fuel a little bit early, thought maybe that would give me something, but yeah, Ryan just got the better of me.
Yeah, but you guys were battling in that beginning of the race there. I think the undercut idea definitely wasn't bad. What was going through your mind? We saw as you came out of the pits, as Ryan came out of the pits, you just sneaking around him. How did you feel in that moment?
Oh, that was scary. I didn't know if he saw me coming or if he was thinking about it, and I was just, it was survival mode at that point.
It was, and you just inched ahead of him there, and we had our hands in the air for that one, for sure.
Yeah, it's too bad he got to take it back right away, but yeah.
All right, you guys put on a fantastic show despite the lower car count here, the season opener, doing credit to the new open wheel racing. So super cool to watch for us up here in the booth. And before I let you go from this one, who do you want to give a shout to that helped you grab second here tonight?
Just everyone who helps me out in real life with the cars. Everyone in the DRSCCA who puts on the league. I'm actually thinking about volunteering my own time. It's all volunteers, so it's a great group of guys. And Team Dude Squad for commentating, and just everybody who helps keep this thing going. It's a great league.
Well, thank you, Ari. Couldn't do it without you guys and the drivers, and hopefully we'll have you back up here in the coming weeks, sir.
Yep, thanks a lot.
Thank you. That was Ari Ryder bringing it home in second. Up next, though, the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Carwile. Welcome to the top spot, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sweaty again.
Ryan, that was a heck of a race. Definitely saw the chess moves in your eyes throughout that. Saw the battle in the beginning with Vaughn Mishko. How did it feel having a new contender up front to give you some hell?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I didn't know who he was before, but yeah, it was really fun racing with him for sure.
And then middle of the race there, when you took your pit stop, I think how was the pit stop strategy feeling to you? Was that big on your mind? And then two, when you came out of the pits and Ari snuck around you, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I had a massive brain fart, like, cause I was like trying to decide whether I should pit or stay out, and there was a lap car ahead, and I didn't do either very well. But somehow I managed to make enough time to get out. Just beside Ari, I was, I don't know, maybe if I did that a little bit cleaner, I could have been out front. But it was a lot of fun battling with him last few laps for sure.
It was great to watch, and Ari definitely had kind of the same comment. When he got around you, he was pretty excited, but then you were able to take the position back pretty quickly there.
Yeah, these cars get very, very slight. Like, they don't really seem to really like being pushed, so you just go a little bit over the edge. I think that's where I was able to make the pass.
Awesome.
Well, Ryan, it was a ton of fun to watch the season debut. Good to have you back up here in the top spot. We'll let you go and take a shower from this one, from all the hardcore sweat there of wheeling and making it happen in the Formula 1600. But before we let you go, you've got the privilege, the pleasure, the final send-offs of the night. Who do you want to give a shout to that helped make it happen for you?
I'll give a shout out to Ari and Vaughn because we had a very, very fun, clean battle up front.
Well, very well said. Ryan, always a pleasure, bud, and hopefully we'll have you back up here a bunch throughout the season.
Thanks.
That was Ryan Carwile in the top spot. Nick, we had a first-time winner for the season. We had big moves on pit road, and we had fantastic racing all across the field here at Sonoma.
Absolutely. As always, Ryan Carwile and Ari Ryder putting on a great show. Super excited for the newcomer Vaughn Mishko. Great action in the back, and I cannot wait for the next race with this car.
Awesome, Nick. It was a pleasure having you up here in the booth. On behalf of Team Goon Squad and the DRSCCA, my name has been James East, accompanied by Nick Rennell, world-renowned production. Thank you guys all so much for spending your Tuesday night with us, and we'll see you at the next one.
Catch you later.